looking for funding, and people who are looking for huge opportunities in terms of marketplace access and business. So I believe that Hong Kong actually offers that. And I'm going to next 20 minutes or so explain to you some of the exciting things that we're seeing. And we'd like to invite you on this journey with us as you strategize your next steps in your business. I understand there's a lot of investors, like a lot of business founders, a lot of startups that are here looking for opportunities. So with that, I'd like to discuss. So as you know, Hong Kong and Canada has a very strong relationship. We have about 100 companies, Canadian companies in Hong Kong, but we'd like to see more. Some of the regional offices that are doing extremely well, regional headquarters are the likes of Manulife and all the banks that you have here. Also, we have a lot of not only insurance companies, but banks as well, but other people who are doing supply chain, and also there are a lot of startups in Hong Kong, originally from Canada. So we have double taxation agreements with Canada, and we have also investment promotion and protection agreement. There's about 320,000 Hong Kong people, Canadian passport residents like me, who live in Hong Kong, and there's about 500 plus Hong Kongers who actually live in Canada. So we have a very strong partnership, a relationship going on, and we'd like to see more of that. And I would believe that this is as certain doors close, we see 10 other doors open, right? And I want you to think about that, because the world is not just towards one market, and it's always good to diversify your risks, diversify your marketplace, so that you're not dependent on one market in particular. So it's very important, and we're here to basically tell you a little bit about what's the exciting things going on. So the economy is doing very well. We expect 2 to 3% growth this year in terms of GDP. Our numbers are all up in terms of investors. We've seen a very big influx of money coming into Hong Kong, especially after Liberation Day, and we've seen a lot of people coming in. The reason is because people want certainty. And when you go as in this very tumultuous world and very uncertain world, you want to be in a place where you can, the money is there, nobody can take it away from you. You have the sort of freest economy in the world, basically, which is Hong Kong. You can take your money in and out anytime you want. You can actually, of course, free flow of information, free flow of there's no restrictions on any information. It's very simple. Hong Kong is the freest economy in the world. We're the third largest global financial center in the world. We are actually the global financial center. I know some of you in Fintech. I'll just say a few words on that. We are number 3 globally behind New York and London, and we believe that we do have all the ingredients to actually going further on the charts to become number 2. According to a lot of the players in the private equity field and investment field, Hong Kong is well poised to actually surpassing Switzerland as the center for wealth management. And we are at $4.4 trillion in terms of asset under management. We believe that Hong Kong will actually surpass that number, and we will see more of that going forward. So according to the Boston Consulting Group report 2024, and also the chairman of UBS, Hong Kong is in a very good position to surpassing Switzerland as the global #1 asset under management cross-border player. So stay tuned on that. We're the largest hedge fund companies in Asia, and we have 160 banks in Hong Kong. We have 8 digital banks, 160 plus insurance companies, 5 virtual banks, and we are seeing a lot of interest where the banks now are getting into insurance. They are also coming up with a lot of innovative products, investment products, and insurance as well. So there's a big convergence going on. And of course, Fintech is a very big platform. And some of you say cybersecurity or blockchain, whatever business you are in, there's a lot of opportunities there. So I'll talk about Fintech in a minute, but suffice to say that we are number 4, the largest number of foreign direct investment. Last year, 2024 report, $113 billion inflow into Hong Kong. We have about 10,000 companies with parent companies outside of Hong Kong, about 1,500 startups. 1,500 regional headquarters, actually 4,700 startups, and we have about 350,000 small, medium enterprises. The biggest investors are mainland Chinese, followed by Japan, US, UK. I stress the word US because there's a lot of businesses that are still looking, American companies are looking to do business with the rest of the world. And we're very happy to having them in Hong Kong. The 5th largest investor is Singapore. It's interesting. Many companies have gone to Singapore first. Nothing wrong with that. But then they realize very quickly that the marketplace is very small and they should look at a more larger market to scale the market. And Hong Kong represents a very unique position where half of the world's population is within 5 hours of Hong Kong. So 3.7 billion people live within 5 hours of Hong Kong. So when you're coming to Hong Kong, you're not just looking at Hong Kong as a place, but you are targeting these countries around the world, from India to ASEAN countries to Japan to Korea, of course, to mainland China. And now I'm extending that circle because we see more and more companies and people from the Middle East coming to Hong Kong, using Hong Kong as a hub to do the business. You probably have heard of the Belt and Road Initiative, which is a sort of framework footprint which a country, China, is looking at in terms of supporting. And so there's a lot of trade going on between China and those 152 plus Belt and Road economies. And increasingly, we're seeing a lot of those companies from those countries are setting up foot in Hong Kong. So Hong Kong is a major supply chain hub globally, and a lot of companies are using Hong Kong for that. Just to go back for a minute, we are an international financial center, but also we're a trading hub and a shipping hub as well. And one of the things I like to highlight, if you look at the simple tax regime, Hong Kong, especially for startups and SME, we have a very low tax regime. Our tax is capped at 15% for profit tax. And if for the first $2 million Hong Kong, we only tax you at 8.25%. I'll share something very interesting with you. I was in India about a month ago, and one Indian gentleman came to me and said, "Oh, you know, Charles, I'm very excited to tell you, I've never seen we have businesses in different parts of the world, and I've never seen anybody inland revenue coming and calling us and said, you know, I think you've missed something. You should leverage on this tax incentive. You haven't taken that." And this is something which is unheard of, where the inland revenue people calling him and said, you know, you have missed this tax thing, they should take advantage of. So it's a very simple tax regime. We have a very friendly, we're not a tax haven. I have to make sure of that. We're fully compliant with BEPS 2.0 and all the international norms. However, we have a very simple tax regime. No sales tax, no tax on capital gains, no withholding tax on investment, no estate duty tax, no global taxation, and no duty on wine. Okay. Not that we want people to drink a lot, but actually it's interesting. Since we're one of the few jurisdictions where there's no duty and no sales tax on wine. And because of that, that has created a huge economic benefit to us, where we have all the players in the world, actually wine growers, and that has been flocking to Hong Kong. That was about more than 12 years ago. We lifted the tax, and we've seen a lot of other businesses being created, logistics, for sommelier, and all kinds of business around the wine business. And also we've decreased the alcohol business for cognac and hot alcohol to 10%, so which is creating another wave of interest. And the reason why I'm highlighting this, because at the end of the day, as business people, you want to maximize your profit. Again, Hong Kong is a place where you can actually very safely do that. We encourage people to really leverage on our low and simple tax regime to maximize their profit so that they can have more money in their pocket. It is a gateway to China and to the world. And Hong Kong is the only city in the world where the China advantages and the world advantages converge. And so this is very important. We do believe in law, in the common law system. We have a similar common law system as in Canada. English and Chinese are both official languages. And we have strong intellectual property rights protection. We have very strong privacy law, which actually prevents anybody from infringing into your privacy as a business. And very importantly, we have the largest offshore center for renminbi. Now, increasingly, China is doing business with the rest of the world, with 180 economies in the world they're doing business with. And 80% of the renminbi transacted globally is going through Hong Kong. So that gives you an idea of how important it is. And we are very independent. We have our own currency, Hong Kong dollar, which is pegged to the US dollar. We have a very stable political and legal systems. And also, again, very importantly, we do believe in transparency. We do believe in all the type of values that you're looking at in Canada. So we share a lot of similar values. We believe in terms of, very importantly, that people should be able to do business in a very safe and simple manner. So that's why we're here to basically tell people to consider, if you were looking to set up something in Hong Kong, it takes 1 hour, less than 1 hour to register a company. And the minimum requirement is $100. It takes one director who doesn't have to reside in Hong Kong. So any one of you can be a director of a Hong Kong company, and you can set up in a very easy and very seamless manner. Invest Hong Kong is here. My colleague Chris and his team are basically covering all of Canada. And if you have any questions and things like that, you can always go to Chris, and Chris will look at your case and discuss and see how best you could, the next best way forward. And he would introduce you to our specialist teams in Hong Kong, who will also be supporting you in your journey. Something which is very interesting, we do have a great investment agreement with Canada. This is something which is very important. We also have a double taxation treaty with Canada. Now, on this slide, I'm going to switch on to something very interesting. Now, when you look at business, when you are in business, you want to have you want to be in a jurisdiction where there is minimum tax and you are maximizing the profit. But you also want to go into a market where there's real potential marketplace, where you can tap into a larger marketplace. So when you look at Hong Kong has a population of 7.5 million people. And if you look further, just up north, which is basically in Shenzhen, Shenzhen has approximately 17 million people. And if you look up north, Dongguan, Guangzhou, that little chart there, this is basically what we call the Greater Bay Area. So it's 9 cities in China, and plus Macau and Hong Kong. This area is one of the highest growth in terms of economic development globally. We hit $2 trillion economy last year, and OECD is forecasting the Greater Bay Area to double in capacity to $4 trillion within the next 10 years. So you're looking at today an economy equivalent to that of Italy. So 87 million people, 56,000 square kilometers, but with a GDP of 2 trillion. So you fast forward within 10 years, this economy is going to double the size to $4 trillion. So if you look at opportunities, it is one area to start with, because and by the way, if you move to Hong Kong, let's say you are in Hong Kong or you have a base in Hong Kong, if you were to go to China, to mainland China, after staying a while, you can apply for a card, which allows you to go in without visa. And so this is how easy it is.
If we have a business in Hong Kong.
If you have a base, you're staying in Hong Kong, you can apply for that. It makes it very, very easy for people to do business. We have a speed train that goes from Hong Kong to Macau, to Hong Kong to Shenzhen. it takes only 14 minutes. Anybody has taken that train, speed train? Yeah. It takes 14 minutes, and it takes 45 minutes to go to Guangzhou. Guangzhou, Hong Kong, usually it's a 2-hour car ride or normal train ride. But speed train, 350 kilometers, takes you from Hong Kong to Guangzhou in 45 minutes, and to Shenzhen downtown to downtown in 14 minutes. We have two bridges. We have two bridges. It's called the longest bridge in the world. It's between Hong Kong, Macau, and Zhuhai. It takes 40 minutes approximately to cross the bridge to go to Macau and Zhuhai. And there's a bridge between Zhongshan and Shenzhen. It takes about 25 minutes. So this whole area is very well connected from Zhuhai to Guangzhou. There's also a speed train on that end, and from Guangzhou to Shenzhen and Hong Kong, there's also a speed train. So it's very, very easy to go to and travel to that part. And also the other advantage of having something in Hong Kong is that you have secret advantages. You can, for example, whether you're in finance, fintech, construction, engineering, etc., you do have preferential access to the mainland market through Hong Kong. Because we are part of China, so under the one country system, we are eligible for that. There's something which is very important to note is that Hong Kong companies, they want to adopt the Hong Kong law and choose for arbitration to be seated in Hong Kong. And this is something very important because if you're based in Hong Kong, a lot of people, when they do their business, they want to set up what we call a holding company in Hong Kong. And it's very easy to set up a holding company. And then once you set up a holding company, you can actually have WFOEs in mainland China. WFOEs is a short name for wholly foreign-owned enterprises. As you know, China is a huge continent of many markets. And what people do is that they put a WFOE, sort of what we call a holding company in Hong Kong, and they put their WFOEs in different parts of China, in Shenzhen, in Guangzhou, in Shanghai, Beijing, and then Wuhan, Chongqing, and so you can have different WFOEs, but it's almost like the mother company in Hong Kong, and you can maximize on profit. One thing I like to stress is that 99.999% of the companies in Hong Kong, they are profit center. And this is something which we've seen on and on and on, is that a lot of times because we have a low tax system, a low tax regime, and the business volume can be very big and can be very lucrative. And a lot of times we've seen that the profit center in Hong Kong, for a lot of companies, actually are much bigger than their home country profit center, because they kind of gear the business towards Hong Kong, and there's a lot of opportunities for growth. Yes, question.
Could you maybe explain what CEPA means for those who may not be able to
sorry. We should put that. It's closer economic partnership arrangement. This closer economic partnership arrangement is very important because it is the only system, because Hong Kong is part of China, as you know, but we have two systems. Hong Kong has common law system, mainland China has civil law system. And because of the fact that we're part of China, and we have therefore this very special arrangement with mainland China. We're the only one that has this preferential treatment. And that's why no other city in the world has that. And that's why with this advantage, a lot of companies would use Hong Kong for that, to leverage and take advantage of that. No, so let's say if you do advanced manufacturing, you do a small part of advanced manufacturing where you use robots and AI, robotics to do this manufacturing. There's need a lot of space because Hong Kong does not have a lot of space. And then if you were to export that product made in Hong Kong to China, to the mainland, zero tariff. So there are a lot of many different advantages as well. And so zero tariff on Hong Kong origin goods entering mainland China. So that's very important. And also a lot of professionals also have acquired mainland professional qualifications actually through exams. And the advantages of being in Hong Kong, if China was an important market, would be second to none. Okay? Feel free to stop me if you have any questions. Now, this is an interesting chart because each of the 9 cities They're very specialized onto different things. For example, Zhongshan on this side is based on advanced manufacturing and modern service industries, and they're very specialized into medical device. For example, they are really would be, I would say, the world's leading champion manufacturing realm for medical device. We have a client who, for example, from Imperial College in the UK, they came to Hong Kong to do R&D, and they did surgical precision machine that basically does the surgery for the brain. And this is how very difficult it is. And naturally, they have used factories in Zhongshan to produce and manufacture these products. So it's very advanced in terms of robotics. And the whole of Greater Bay Area has transformed into manufacturing for cars, for drones, for very high-end electronics, for phones and other things as well. So this is where this synergy comes in, because there's a lot of manufacturing facilities, and all of that, I would say, have gone from low-end manufacturing now. They're all very high-end manufacturing companies. You go into a factory, you don't see people nowadays. It's just all robots and AI, and a few engineers that are doing that. Now, this is a very busy chart, but if you look at it, if you look at the white part from the north, it's Shenzhen. Now, we have a very special, the reason why Shenzhen has, one of the reasons why Shenzhen is such a booming city and most innovative city is that, well, proximity to Hong Kong made a big effect as well. So Shenzhen today, just to give perspective for those who don't know, Shenzhen was 45 years ago a fishing village with a few 100,000 people. I would say a few 100,000 people because China's population is 1.4 billion. So a few 100,000 people, it's like a small village. Right? So just to put things together. Now, it was a fishing village a few 45 years ago. Today, it's one of the most smartest city in China. And if you go to Shenzhen, every month there's something which is very new and it's very innovative. And it's called one of the most innovative cities in China is because all of the major tech companies in China have their headquarters in Shenzhen. And its proximity to Hong Kong makes a huge impact because from a funding perspective, from access to international markets, etc. Now, we're working very closely with Shenzhen to develop an ecosystem which is, again, second to none. If you look at the charts, this here, you look at here, there are 4 zones that has been here. So this is north of Hong Kong. There are 30,000 hectares of land that has been reserved to redevelop to make Hong Kong into an international innovation and technology hub. So these 4 zones are, again, for professional services like logistics services and e-commerce. And as you know, e-commerce is very big. It's very, very important. On that note, I'll just talk about very quickly on the airport. We just opened a 3rd runway last year at the Hong Kong International Airport. We have been, in the last 7 years, the busiest cargo airport in the world. With the 3rd runway, we now have capacity for 10 million tons of container throughput. So just to give you a perspective, the 2nd largest airport cargo in the world, anybody wants to guess where it is? It is Memphis. It's in the US. It's the FedEx, home of FedEx. It's approximately 4.5 million tons of container throughput. So in Hong Kong, you're looking at double the size of that. And because of the fact that we have e-commerce, when you order something in e-commerce, what do you expect? You won't expect the goods to be delivered to your home yesterday. So that's why we have Alibaba's fulfillment center in Hong Kong. It's a huge building, and we have all these connectivity to the world. It's going there. So this is basically an area that has been looking at logistic hub, and it's basically a lot of new logistic tech will be developed there. And this is something which is very important because we always want to be at the forefront of it. And this is going to be a supply chain logistic tech hub, where there will be companies from around the world having their base there, entrepreneurs, startups, investors as well. The second part here, which is this part, is basically innovation technology. So life science Fintech, Web3, AI application, data technology, things like also like green technology and new energy, as well as advanced manufacturing are going to be clustered in this site here. And the third one is the boundary for commerce. It's education, a lot of things on so incubators, accelerators, educators, and the new third hospital, teaching hospital for Hong Kong is going to be there. And last but not least, which is something here, again, we believe in conservation and also recreation. So it's not just all business. We want people to come and be able to enjoy their life and have a life balance. And there is going to be a lot of the blue and green recreation for tourism. Basically, we have a lot of bird parks there, and we putting in my colleagues in conservation team is doing a lot of things to ensure that they have the insects and the fauna and the flora to attract the birds when they migrate from the north to the south. We stop over in Hong Kong. It's not just business people, but we want the birds to stop over in Hong Kong as well. So this is basically the 30,000 hectares that is being developed. So in the next 5, 10 to 20 years, this area is going to be fully developed into this area of innovation. And what you're seeing here, ladies and gentlemen, is Silicon Valley in the making. It is Shenzhen, which is the most innovative city in China. And then together with this synergy, by the way, Shenzhen on this side is developing also what we're developing here. They're really rapidly doing that. So this synergy between Shenzhen and Hong Kong provides the best of both worlds, where you can, because there are things that you can do in mainland China that you can't do in Hong Kong and vice versa. So for example, crypto, right? Those people in crypto or digital asset, you can't really do that in mainland. It's not allowed. But in Hong Kong, it is allowed and encouraged. So you can do that here, and then you leverage on the best of both worlds. And a lot of Chinese mainland champions are coming to Hong Kong because they want to do it in Hong Kong, and they can't do it in mainland China. So there are things that you can do vice versa. So this is basically, as I said, the Silicon Valley in the making. Now, if you think about it from the US context, right? You have New York, a global financial center, you have Silicon Valley, and then you have Texas. Here, what you're looking at in the Greater Bay Area, you're looking at Hong Kong as a global financial center, Hong Kong and Shenzhen International Innovation Hub, and the Greater Bay Area as the manufacturing hub. So you're putting Texas, Silicon Valley, and New York all together within 1 hour, 55,000 kilometers, with a population of 87 million people.
For now, it will
be growing, as I suspect. Yes, good point. So this is something very interesting, and I think that basically this is the blueprint for the future, for the next decade. And we're all very excited about this because we believe that it will bring not only a lot of innovation, future innovation coming up of that, but also a lot of talent development, as well as opportunities for investors as well, because a lot of new unicorns will be coming out of that, and also a lot of businesses from large businesses, corporates that are really tapping into those. The 30,000 hectares basically are going to be open for corporates to use, and also bid for, maybe they want to build a campus, they want to build a whole area for them to develop from talent to ideation to commercialization, collaboration with universities, collaboration with investors, and collaboration amongst themselves, because this is where the synergy lies, because that's why we put it this way, so that there is maximum synergy amongst companies and amongst startups as well. The beauty of it is that for startups, if you're going there and you have, let's say, blockchain, you're doing it, and you may be sitting next to, so it's a bit like the co-work space idea. So, but here it's a much larger scale, right? If you're doing there, if you are in that ecosystem, we want to be able for you to connect with others, so that you can find maybe new sectors or new areas, scalable areas where you can actually thrive. And that's the whole idea of this synergy, to bring in startups, to bring in investors, to bring in the government, put different measures in to make it easy for people to do business and to lift up any type of barriers if possible. and for you to have a very ideal environment for you to work in, and do business, and to flourish. And then take it from there, you springboard to the mainland China in the Greater Bay Area, and further in China, but also in Southeast Asia, and also in the Middle East. I was in Dubai and Saudi Arabia about 2 months ago, and a lot of people were telling me that they were very keen in coming to Hong Kong to tap into new innovation companies. They want to either invest in them, or they want to buy the service, or they want to adopt their services to their marketplace. This is a chart where it shows that there's a lot of we open for bid for people who want to set up a bid to get land and acquire things like that. Now, Hong Kong is a very important financial center. We have, in terms of ultra high net worth individuals, we have about 3,000 now family office, 12,500 ultra high net worth individuals. The other city with the largest ultra high net worth individuals is New York. New York has about 13,100. Hong Kong is second in the world with 12,500 plus. We are the largest number of hedge funds and biggest private equity market outside mainland. And our market capitalization is about $5 trillion. And this is something very important. We have about 160 plus companies waiting to be listed. And if the US decides to kick out the 197 companies listed on the NASDAQ, guess where they will go. They will come to Hong Kong because naturally that's the marketplace for them. So we're very, very excited about what's going on, and we're waiting for actually a lot of companies to leverage more on Hong Kong on this. We are the largest, one of the largest IPO center in the world in terms of listing. We believe that there will be a lot more companies coming up to Hong Kong to list. We are the number 2 globally after NASDAQ, the funding for life sciences and biotech. And in this, we also have changed the rules to enable non-biotech companies. This is called 18A, and there's an 18C, which is enabling deep tech companies to come and list in Hong Kong. You don't necessarily have to wait for revenue to list in Hong Kong. So this is something which is first in the world. And Hong Kong was out of nowhere, and we became now number 2 globally as a fundraising capital in the world after New York. By the way, there's a lot of family office and also private equity which funds into it. We launched last year a program which is called a New Capital Entrance Scheme. And this is for people who want to have a second home somewhere, or maybe they want to have their parents or grandparents move to Hong Kong because it is a very safe place to be. It is a very pleasant place to live. And also for that, we have devised it's almost like a golden passport, if you will, $30 million, 3.8 million, 4 million Canadian. You can actually you put it there for 7 years. You can get a permanent residence in Hong Kong. So anybody can do that. And some people do it for family reunion. They want their parents to come and live with them. And this is what they do. So we launched the program last year. In March, we had over 10,000 applications already. We have processed 1,000 has been successful. And that has been a lot of economic benefit to Hong Kong. Now, we have for family office, those who want to set up a single family office, we have a 0 tax concession for them. They don't have to get a license. They can just register very simply a company. And then they hire 2 persons in Hong Kong. And these 2 persons work in their family office. And the overhead must be a minimum of $2 million. And then they can apply. Actually, in terms of investment, it's about $240 million that they're investing globally, and they can get 0 tax concession from the Inland Revenue in Hong Kong. We see a lot of families doing that, and some of the richest families in the world have actually come to set up because they want to leverage on this. Hong Kong is also a very important hub for family businesses, family offices. We have put 8 measures. These 8 measures that you see here are there to facilitate the attraction and the growth of family offices. We're very excited about it. A lot of family offices are doing investment in art, in innovation technology, in art. And for arts, we are building a storage facility at the airport. And the first generation are very interested in art and for collection of art, the Monet and Picasso or whatnot, for 400,000 US. But the next generation, interestingly, are interested in looking at digital art, tokenized art. And so we want to have the both for the young generation, for the next generation, for the elder generation as well, who are interested in collecting art pieces, so that they can put it in very state-of-the-art facilities with temperature control 24/7, and they can visit the whole their art collection. They can bring in people from around the world because it's the art facilities built where at the airport, half of it is in the bonded zone and half of it is not. So if you want to bring people in to visit from outside of Hong Kong, you can do that. And if you want to fly people in to doing that, you can also do that as well. So it's a very special state-of-the-art facility that is being built. And we're very excited about this new prospect. Corporate Treasury Center. Companies that have more than one office, and in addition to Hong Kong, maybe you want to set up an office in Vietnam, you want to set up an office in Thailand or Singapore, then you can consider having a Corporate Treasury Center. Having a Corporate Treasury Center, it's a separate entity than your company. And for that, we have a tax concession of 8.25% instead of the 16.5%. This is another additional tax benefit which we give out. For Fintech, I know some of you are into Fintech. We are very pleased. Please mark your calendar to come to Hong Kong on the first week of November. We're going to be celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Fintech Week and the 10th anniversary of the Start-up Festival. This year it will be merged together as a celebration for the 10th anniversary of these 2 signature events. And you will be able to access to a lot of wealth tech, blockchain application software people, payments, remittance, digital asset, crypto, fintech enterprise solution, insurtech, compliance, regtech, etc. And we expect a lot of people from around the world to be there. This is something which is very important. We expect investors to be there, corporates to be there, and we always have a very big demand for kind of attending and participating in that. So stay tuned on that. Please do mark your calendar for the first week of November to be in Hong Kong. You'll be able to access a lot of investors, a lot of corporates, potential clients, and also a lot of talent. Innovation Technology Hub is almost like the backbone we're building right now. We have over 12 universities in Hong Kong. 5 of them are in the top 100 ranking. Hong Kong is one of the few cities where you have 5 universities in the top 100 ranking. And we foster innovation. We foster academic institutions to have their accelerator incubation program, to work with professors and startups to develop their own startups, and to collaborate and facilitate and enable them to access corporations and access investors. This is something very important. Investors are from many different areas. You could be from the stock market, investing, you list on the stock market. We have a very, very strong private equity. Companies have over 400 private equity companies in Hong Kong. And there are a lot of corporates which are very keen to invest into startups, because the startups are doing very specialized solutions that they're looking for, and therefore they are tapping into these startups to find new solutions so that they don't have to reinvent the wheel and they can just focus on their core business. So we have a lot of B2B actions, and this innovation technology journey is the government's making sure that we have very, very comprehensive funding in government. And I will show you a slide here. This slide, there's a lot of, the government is very generous. This is only a snapshot of it. There's about 50 plus funding schemes that are there. For example, the University Technology Startups Support Scheme. Let's say if you set up a company in Hong Kong and you do R&D in Hong Kong, and the government will, if your R&D center is hiring you can hire up to 4 PhD. The government will subsidize you. Each PhD will subsidize 45,000 Hong Kong dollars, which is 45,000 Hong Kong dollars is 7.
It's about 6,000. 6,000.
6,000 Canadian, right? Per month, per PhD. And will subsidize for 3 years, up to 4 PhD. So you just do the math yourself, and you can save a lot of money. You can actually build an R&D center there. And we have a lot of incentives that we're giving out for people to consider R&D. So we're also encouraging universities collaboration. And we launched a program a number of years ago where we have encouraging collaboration, universities and university collaboration in health tech, AI, robotics. So we have over 100 universities now globally that have affiliation with Hong Kong universities. So they do joint university programs, and they also bring the most innovative companies there. And so now we're going to be launching the last batch, which is the Sustainable Development, Energy, Advanced Manufacturing and Materials. And so this is something very exciting. We see a lot of universities very interested in collaborating with universities in Hong Kong to leverage on this. We have a very good example. University of Waterloo has a joint venture with Poly University in developing the Center of Excellence for the Eye. And since they've set up, they have been able to attract a lot of not only investors, but startups, but also a lot of innovators and champions of industries. And there's a lot of universities now which want to collaborate with this CEVR platform, the Center for Eye and Vision, because they have solutions to bring. And this is something which is very meaningful and that we've seen happening because these universities are the best in their fields. And the fact that they're collaborating to build an eye center is attracting a lot of investors and attracting a lot of players in this area. And this has been a very good conduit of projects. And so we believe that this Center of Excellence for the Eye will grow from strength to strength, as eye is a very important organ. And a lot of people have problems with the eye. And so it is there to really foster innovation and entrepreneurship in the areas of the eye. Another example is the KAA imaging. The hospital, they are very interested. So Hong Kong is always pushing for corporates and for startups and also the various sectors, because Hong Kong is a very diversified economy, and therefore people are encouraging companies to come in and collaborate with companies. We have a very liberal immigration policy. So as long as you're a talent and you have a real base, you can want to set up a startup or you want to create a solution with a university, etc. We have a very liberal immigration policy for visa. You can apply for visa, and Invest Hong Kong is there also to support you. We will facilitate your visa process to come in. About that, there's a lot of funding here. I won't have time to go through one by one, but suffice to say that there's all these are up for grabs for startups, for medium-sized companies, for large companies as well. We have about 4,000, maybe now this number is only up, maybe 4,800 startups in Hong Kong. And it goes from fintech to innovation technology, e-commerce, education learning, data analytics. And this is something also very exciting. About 30% of our startups are from all over the world. So we're going to, if you come in November, you'll meet a lot of them. And also the corporates are increasingly looking at startups that are in Hong Kong. Because a lot of that startups, they're not just from Hong Kong or China, they are from all over the world. You have people in a team of startups that's only from Middle East to India to China and to other places. So this is something which is very, very lucrative and also a very good journey. We believe that this journey is going to go from strength to strength, and we invite you to be part of that. Now, this is something which is interesting. Hong Kong is not all about business and making money. Which is very important, but this is also very important. It's about lifestyle. Hong Kong has some of the best restaurants in the world. Michelin star restaurants are starting from Hong Kong, 100 Hong Kong dollars, which is what, 16 Canadian dollars, to all the way to $4,000 per person. And we have a very thriving scene for arts, digital marketing, sports. The stadium that is there, that the High-Tech Stadium, is built on the old airport runway. And this is the new airport. This is new capacity for 50,000 spectators. We have Jay Chou, Coldplay, we have our rugby sevens there, and we're expecting, I believe, also on the news of Lady Gaga, other people. I mean, global entertainers are going to be there, and we're looking actually to work with Canada. Maybe some from Montreal and from Quebec. There's some really good shows. You know, your Cirque du Soleil was originated from here, and Montrealais and people in Quebec are very big innovators. So we're looking forward to have this entertainment group of people coming over. Hockey team as well. Why not? Absolutely. And this is something which is very important. You should export your products, right? And we're here to support you on that. So film, gaming is very important. As you know, film is no stranger. You have the whole thing from Jackie Chan to Bruce Lee. And now with Polydo, they have the Center of Excellence for Film, Digital Marketing and Making as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for also immersive and AI. The beauty of this is that you're in a place where you can bring the best in AI, the best in film, or the best in gaming. You can come up with something completely different to create that experience and to create that startup tomorrow. The stadium, that is the whole complex is there. We've got 4 stadiums next to each other, and we are hosting a lot of people. Now, this is something which is exciting. This is at the airport. At the airport, in addition to so this is the airport itself, right? The 3 ones, 1, 2, and 3. And this is what we call Skytopia. The Skytopia is a big project that is on paper right now. It's being promoted. We are getting a lot of attraction. What we want to do is to build as the name says, a landmark, unique places where you can basically integrate high commerce, tourism, activities, and also a lot of opportunities for investors. We're building a marina, Airport Bay Marina, with over 500 berths to attract some of these large yachts, private yachts, to come to Hong Kong, so that the owners, the ultra high net worth individuals, they can come and stay there, and then they can take their private jets back home or elsewhere. And we also are building a state-of-the-art 6-star hotel there. Some people are thinking about bringing mineral water spa to that place. We're looking to build a jet fresh market where you will fly in every morning or every day, a fresh food from different parts of the world. We're going to be having this marketplace there. Hong Kong is one of the largest importer of food. 25% of Japan's food is exported to Hong Kong. And we're looking for seafood from Canada and agricultural products, etc. Your wine and your meat and beef, and so on. So there's a lot of interesting things that we are doing there at the airport. We're building an art valuable storage facility. We're also building the second phase for Asia World Expo for exhibition and entertainment. So it's like a city within a city with a very important ecosystem from shopping, entertainment, experiences, health. There's also like a health hub there where people can get people who are looking for medical facilities, etc. So it's a very comprehensive ecosystem. So with that, one last thing is we are looking at low altitude economy. Shenzhen is very advanced in that. Already we are with, you can deliver Starbucks by drones, and we're looking at, we tested last week in Hong Kong, delivery of medicine by drones. Of course, Hong Kong is a very, very dense population. You can't do that everywhere, but there are certain places we could do this, and Hong Kong is testing that. There's autonomous driving is already living and kicking. At the Hong Kong International Airport, if you next time you go there, you might see nobody driving the car. It's just going on its own on the tarmac. Actually, it's a bit of, oh my God, how can you allow autonomous driving to be in the airplane zone? But we've been implementing that for a while now, and the Hong Kong International Airport is one of the most innovative centers by itself, and there's autonomous driving inside the airport already. So this is something which we're developing very rapidly. You will see that is up and coming. And last but not least, this is something which is important. Large companies that have their domicile in the various Cayman Islands, etc. We just have a new program for company to re-domicile their regime. So we've got 2 insurance companies already done that. AXA from France, Manulife from Canada has re-domiciled their business from one of those islands to Hong Kong. And this is something very important because everything is in one place. And today, because of tax reason, nobody wants to sort of be seen or be perceived as doing kind of tax kind of not being able to sort of leverage on that. And that's why we put this to re-domicile for companies in Hong Kong, where they can actually apply for it and enjoy the various benefits that goes with it in Hong Kong. Last slide. One of the things we're doing, because you've heard about the tariffs war, and that's creating really havoc. Now, Hong Kong is positioned itself as the center for multinational supply chain management center, which means that the command and control center is in Hong Kong. The goods don't have to go through Hong Kong. They don't have to be imported and exported from Hong Kong. But what we're looking at is we're building a center of excellence for high value added supply chain management center. So what it means is that every company doing supply chain could have a base there, and they could leverage on, because of the fact of the sheer volume, the cost and all that is much lower if you were to do it in Hong Kong. And all the professionals, whether it is human capital or trade financing or different financing options, professional services offered by a legal accountant, a consultant, insurance, etc., is much, much more advantageous, and you have a lot of choices there as well. And we launched last year, as I think I mentioned that already, the new capital entrance scheme, which has now, this number is the old number already. We have over 10,000 applications. And just one last word about Invest Hong Kong. We are here to help. We help in the planning stage, we help companies set up, we help companies launch, and we help companies expand. And now we also help companies go out of Hong Kong to other jurisdictions. So we'll be working in very close, even more closer partnership with Invest in Quebec. And we believe that it's a very important partnership that we want to foster with you, so that we can bring a lot of companies that are from that side of the world that may want to use Quebec as their center for the Americas. And equally, you are helping us with companies that want to go that side, so that they can expand their marketplace. So we look forward to a very strong collaboration there. And with that, I'd like to leave the message of that Hong Kong is rolling out the red carpet for you. So please come and take advantage of it and come and see us. November first week, there will be the Start-up Hong Kong Festival, Fintech Week. It's a great opportunity to meet with people, but you don't have to wait until November. We welcome you anytime to come to Hong Kong, and we'll be very happy to welcome you. We have different teams. We have all the grids that you see there. We have sector specialist teams. We have technology innovation. We have startup teams. We have family office team. We have professional service team, creative industries, etc. So there's a home for everyone, and we have experts in these areas. The reason why it's so much there is because Hong Kong's economy is that much diversified. And the beauty of this is that I'll give you an example. When Fintech started, we started 10 years ago with Fintech, right? So this is the 10th anniversary. At the time, the banks were very reluctant and say, oh my God, you're going to disrupt us. The banks are going to eat our lunch. The banks say, Fintech is going to eat our lunch. But now, 10 years later, all the banks have adopted Fintech, right? Or TechFin. And we've seen Fintech actually going into other areas, not just financial services, but also haute couture, textiles, logistics, creative industries, sports, etc. So this is something where when you start with a business, like here, if you're doing urbanization, you're doing cybersecurity, you're doing blockchain, your intention to start, of course, you start somewhere. But what this is offering you, this ecosystem is offering you, a possibility to scale your business, but also get into new areas which you have never thought about. Because the fact that we have all these clusters in one place makes it very easy for people to go from one sector to another, where you can find growth opportunities, and also investors. Because some investors may be interested, they may be in let's say logistics. When they see your service, they might be interested in investing in you, because they can think, oh, I've got another business which is retail, and that business that you're servicing financial services, we can also apply it to retail or to e-commerce. So this is the type of magic that we see every day, and that's why we want people to converge there, to be able to take advantage of it, and therefore from there you can go to those markets, right? To Middle East, to Africa, Europe, etc. And this is kind of the global marketplace. Because of logistics, etc., we can make it easy for you, and we will direct you to the relevant consulate or chambers that in the country that you're going to. So it's very comprehensive in that sense. And we have the Start-up Festival, we have the Fintech Week, but this is the number. We should change the date, but this was last year. And we have also a Wealth for Good event, which is basically grouping all the ultra high net worth individuals. So these are the 3 signature events which Invest Hong Kong and my teams work on every year. So this is the right timing, 3rd to 7th of November, 2025. So this is what we expect in terms of people, and this is what we expect in terms of engagement. So it's going to be a big extravaganza. Please, and also you can apply for the Fast Track Startup Program. If you're a startup, if you're in Web3, if you're into blockchain, if you're into tokenization, you want to as well apply for it, because you might win a prize and you may propel yourself to the forefront of this, because we will be showcasing the winners. And this Fast Track for Startup Program is there for people to tap into investors, into mentorship for large corporations, and also to access new marketplace. And finally, we have a network of offices in these places. So that's why if you were to go to any of these centers, we will have teams that will help you navigate through and support you and help you go into those markets. And that's it. My colleagues, Chris and I, stand ready. You want to say a few words, Chris?
Yeah, get in touch. I think it's great. We have other speakers.
Sorry.
So thank you very much, Charles, for making the groundwork and telling us so much about Hong Kong. So first of all, my name is Cindy Ho. I'm a partner at DS Lawyers and also the co-president of HKCBA. I am also on the executive team of the Federation of Hong Kong Business Associations Worldwide. I might ask maybe Mathieu to help me rebrand it so that we can have a more catchy name and a shorter one. But basically, we're very similar. I think we're one of the only in the world that has gives you a network of 36 countries, 49 business associations wanting to do business around the world. That's my not-for-profit nighttime job, as I say, but I don't want to take any more time. I want to leave time for our 2 speakers here today. We're very lucky to have Mathieu Bédard, who is le PDG de Camden, qui, je vais laisser parler plus, mais qui est en publicité ou marketing, si je ne me trompe pas, et qui va parler de son expérience à Hong Kong. Et on a aussi Mike Lee de Hatch Synergy, qui est le cofondateur, and he will talk about his journey so far, startup, and also his experience so far with the Invest Hong Kong team and why he's considering Hong Kong. Like I mentioned to a few of you already, this is a round table. Well, it's an oval table, but this is a round table discussion. So please feel free to jump in, ask questions. Don't be shy. Franglish is very popular. Cantonese, Mandarin, and I think we could do some translations as needed if ever, but please feel free, don't be shy. We have a little bit of time for that, but without further ado, I'll leave the floor first to Mathieu to say a few minutes about what he does and his experience so far in Hong Kong.
Okay, well, I'll try in English.
Français, c'est parfait.
Nous, Camden, on a un groupe de communication indépendant. On est le spin d'une agence qui existait depuis 1991 à Montréal, que mon associé et moi, on a acheté en 2012. Et en 2015, on a changé de nom et on a investi pour développer un groupe international de communication indépendant. Donc, on n'appartient pas à des fonds, on n'appartient pas à des groupes mondialisés, parce qu'on sent en communication, il y a des grands groupes qui détiennent la majorité, la très grande majorité des agences, qui sont des succursales. Nous, on s'est dit, au Québec, si on a la créativité et si on attire des investisseurs du monde entier pour venir acheter nos agences et nos meilleures agences, et je pourrais en nommer plusieurs, je ne nommerai pas, mais pourquoi on ne le fait pas nous-mêmes? Pourquoi nous, on ne part pas du Québec et on ne va pas à l'étranger et on n'essaie pas de construire? Donc, c'est ce qu'on a fait. On l'a fait tranquillement. On l'a fait avec nos propres fonds, avec beaucoup de foi et de ferveur et une confiance parfois qui s'y est, parce que veut pas. Au Québec, parfois, sortir du Québec et aller à l'extérieur, c'est peut-être pas le premier réflexe qu'on a. Mais on l'a fait. On a commencé à Toronto. On va sortir, on va aller au Canada. On va tester le marché en 2017. En 2018, on a eu notre première incursion en France. On s'est dit, on va jouer le marché sur une ville secondaire d'importance qui est Lyon, qui est une ville grande et qui correspondait essentiellement à des clients, des niches de clients intéressants pour nous. Et à la suite de ça, en 2020, en pleine pandémie, il faut comprendre que nous, on a une philosophie créative qui s'appelle la pensée rebelle. On aime prendre le marché de cours, on aime faire des diversions, puis on aime faire le contraire de l'évidence souvent. Et on a décidé de s'installer à Hong Kong en pleine pandémie, fin 2020. Donc, ce n'était pas le truc le plus évident du monde, mais on l'a fait. On avait un super contact là-bas qui a été directrice générale pendant plusieurs années. Et puis, on y est depuis fin 2020. On compte à Hong Kong. Nous, on est une agence de communication, donc on crée des marques, donc tout ce qui est branding. On crée des marques où on les fait évoluer. On fait de la publicité, on fait du contenu pour les réseaux sociaux, la communication interne, la marque employeur. On considère la marque comme le hub d'une entreprise qui transmet la cohérence, la vision stratégique, l'identité propre, la différenciation de l'entreprise dans le marché, dans tous ces points de contact. Donc, on ne se décrit pas comme une agence de publicité parce que pour nous, la publicité, c'est qu'un moyen pour rejoindre des gens, notamment pour vendre ou pour sensibiliser. Donc, depuis 2020, on a développé une petite équipe à Hong Kong. On partage l'espace d'une agence de design suédoise qui s'appelle Already Tomorrow. Hong Kong est un fabuleux, oui.
Quel est le nom de votre agence?
Camden.
En Camden.
Oui, Camden pour le quartier Camden Town à Londres.
Oui, on connaît.
Le Camden Lock Market, très diversifié, très multiculturel. Pour nous, l'agence, c'est une destination à partir de laquelle les clients peuvent aller conquérir leur quartier, leur coin de rue ou le monde entier s'ils veulent. Et pour nous, Camden, c'est là où Amy Winehouse, où on parlait de Coldplay, plutôt qui ont donné un spectacle, où on commençait dans les petits pubs et sont devenus internationaux. Donc, je suis dit dans un monde où les agences ont des noms un peu pompeux et un peu d'arrogance sur avoir inventé le pain tranché, la créativité, nous, on s'est dit, on va amener un peu d'humilité puis être un terreau créatif, le fun, où on crée de la chimie avec nos clients. Donc, on a créé une petite équipe, on partage le local. Encore là, ville ultra multiculturelle, on peut rencontrer des gens du monde entier. En même temps, être en contact avec la Chine continentale, être un hub vers le reste de l'Asie. Donc, pour nous, ce que Charles mentionnait, qu'on est très aligné avec ça. Donc, on aide des entreprises via des partenaires à Beijing, à Shanghai. On aide des entreprises chinoises à percer à Hong Kong et dans le reste du monde. On aide des entreprises canadiennes, québécoises, françaises à s'établir en Asie et à percer, notamment et aussi en Chine continentale et le marché d'Hong Kong et le reste de l'Asie-Pacifique, notamment le club de soccer un peu mythique, le FC Barcelone. Donc, on a accompagné en Asie du Sud-Est là, pour des campagnes de sensibilisation sur l'importance de la pratique du sport par les femmes, notamment. On travaille, on parlait des grandes universités, on travaille à mousser la notoriété de la Chinese University of Hong Kong, qui est 36e. Bon, je connais le nouveau classement, il est sorti, c'est encore confidentiel. Je peux vous dire que ça va bien. Donc, on les accompagne aussi. On accompagne des marques comme les vêtements Petit Bateau pour les enfants, une marque française à percer à Hong Kong et en Chine, des sirops pour les cafés, les cocktails, la marque 1883. Et on a travaillé avec des Fintech, avec des Start-ups. Et on travaille avec un des deux ou trois plus belles et grands hôtels du monde dans le World's 50 Best, qui est le Rosewood à Hong Kong, qui est un hôtel magnifique du côté de Kowloon avec la vue sur la ville. Je peux vous dire, quand j'ai visité cet hôtel en novembre dernier, j'étais moi-même un peu ému de les compter comme clients. Donc, on est là, on est fiers d'y être. On n'a jamais remis en question notre implantation à Hong Kong. Il y a eu des années un peu moins évidentes, mais depuis l'an dernier, là, les 2 dernières années, on sent la ville renaître, on sent l'effervescence, on sent le retour d'une vie, puis d'un achalandage, puis d'un tourisme qui est vraiment important dans la ville. Et en ce sens-là, moi, je suis parfaitement aligné avec la vision d'Invest Hong Kong, autant sur la proximité avec Shenzhen et le reste de la Chine. Et pour moi, c'est un monde de potentiel infini qui est accessible aux Québécois, aux Canadiens, de manière beaucoup plus facile qu'on le croit. Souvent, on voit ça comme un truc complexe, l'Asie, tout ça. Puis moi, pour moi, Hong Kong, c'est un point de départ qui est magnifique et qui peut nous permettre de faire bon. Donc, c'est ça.
On a découvert notre ambassadeur. Yes.
Mike, I know your journey has started, and I know you recently came back. Also, maybe you could talk a little about what you did and then your experience in Vancouver recently.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Cindy. And first of all, I want to appreciate Invest Hong Kong, Invest Quebec for having us. So my name is Mike, and I've been living in Montreal for about 10 years. Just to the français plus fort quotidien. So bear with me, my French, I'm talking English. Yeah. So our startup set up 2 years ago, and we're doing blockchain stuff. So first of all, I think Hong Kong is the best place for developing blockchain startups, and especially we are doing the tokenization stuff. So I think the Chinese government, they are putting Hong Kong as a pioneer place for blockchain, and they want to compete with the US for the blockchain side. So Hong Kong is the best place for blockchain if you're in this area. And last year we met at Invest Hong Kong in Hong Kong, and we participated in the Hong Kong Fintech Week. In that Hong Kong Fintech Week, we met a lot of people from different industries, and they're doing blockchain manufacturing and under Fintech. We got a lot of connection there and know a lot of investors there. So I will come back to Canada, and I think last week is another web summit in Vancouver, and then we also met Grace, which she's from Invest Hong Kong, and they have booth there, and Grace connect us with a lot of other people from Canada enterprises. So that's very interesting experience in Hong Kong and Vancouver. And right now we're trying to relocate to Hong Kong because my partner is in Hong Kong right now, and we're really excited to if we can expand our business in Hong Kong, because I see lots of talented people not only in Hong Kong but in Shenzhen, as Charles mentions. But one thing I want to emphasize that in Shenzhen, you can find tons of young, talented, tons of interns. Because my background, I was born in China, so a lot of my friends and friends there in Shenzhen, they work in tech industry, and they're very passionate and very highly skilled, not only in the software technology industry, but also in manufacturing. They're working very hard, and they're very highly skilled. They can support all your business for sure in Hong Kong. So yeah, that's one reason we want to relocate to Hong Kong. And another thing is about the policy, and I see the Hong Kong government, they are trying to push very hard on the blockchain area and the fintech area. So I think it's a great opportunity for us, and we're very excited we can go to Hong Kong.
And what do you do exactly?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just organization. Our platform is actually a marketplace for people who can buy, sell, trade, and redeem the tokenized collectible products such as Louis Vuitton bag or the some collectible stuff, sneaker stuff. Yeah.
I think that, Mike, you mentioned a little bit why Hong Kong is great because of the Hong Kong government's policies and then the talent within. Mathieu, qu'est-ce qui t'a poussé pour aller à Hong Kong, choisir parmi partout dans le monde? Vous avez mentionné, il y a certains Toronto, bien évidemment, c'est à côté. En France, bien évidemment, le lien avec le Québec, on peut comprendre. Hong Kong, c'est à l'autre bout du monde. Pourquoi Hong Kong?
Nous, on bâtit un groupe international, puis pour être international, ça le dit, il faut être partout dans le monde. Et bon, on a commencé par l'Europe, et ensuite, on est arrivé, on s'est dit, pour nous, un pion. Un drapeau en Asie, c'est important. Ça va porter de la crédibilité à notre projet, puis ça va le faire grandir. Donc, on a eu le choix en Asie, en différentes destinations. On a fait nos analyses, on a visité plusieurs destinations. Et on a choisi Hong Kong pour sa diversité, pour son accès aussi au marché chinois. Et pour nous, dans notre identité, il y avait un fit. Il y avait un fit qui était naturel, qu'on n'a pas ressenti, par exemple, avec Singapour, qui pourrait être un marché où on pourrait aller éventuellement, mais c'est vraiment Hong Kong qui va rester notre hub. Donc, puis je vous dirais aussi, là, étant épicurien, on a un bureau à Lyon. À Hong Kong, on mange bien, on vit bien, on prend le métro, 2 stations, on a l'impression d'être à Bali. C'est assez spécial. Et je peux vous dire qu'à chaque fois que j'y vais, pour moi, c'est pas. J'irais plus souvent si j'en avais l'occasion.
Et puis justement, vous parlez un peu d'une équipe que vous avez à Hong Kong. Est-ce que vous avez eu un déplacement d'un personnel à Hong Kong? Parce que je sais que vous avez assez fréquemment, peut-être des fois, resté à Rosewood, qui vous sort assez beau et magnifique de ce que j'entends également. Mais est-ce que vous avez une équipe qui s'est déplacée là?
Non, nous, on a vraiment embauché sur place. On a embauché sur place. On a une toute petite équipe. On a un réseau également de pigistes et partenaires. Évidemment, la nature des mandats varie. Donc, on a un noyau. À l'origine, en fait, pendant la pandémie, il y a plusieurs agences qui avaient ouvert des bureaux à Hong Kong et qui ont soit mis sur pause leurs investissements ou carrément fermé leurs bureaux à l'époque. Puis, nous, on a été opportunistes. On avait un contact qui avait lancé un bureau pour une agence française. C'était une amie d'un de nos associés en France. Elle était disponible. On l'avait rencontrée en 2019. On s'est parlé. On s'est dit pourquoi on ne le ferait pas ensemble. Donc, parfois, en affaires, on prend la balle au bon. On avait déjà identifié Hong Kong en 2019 comme notre destination. C'est une question.
Et puis, justement, des fois, on avait mentionné ça rapidement que moi, Hong Kong, c'est où je suis née, c'est facile pour moi de retourner, j'ai ma famille, mais pour un Canadien québécois, peut-être c'est moins évident. Pour surtout s'implanter, on pense à peut-être créer des structures. Des fois, on entend des personnes qui vont créer des beaux-filles en chaîne, mais ça devient comme un projet des mois et avec des centaines, peut-être pas centaines, mais des dizaines de milliers de dollars. Mais pour Hong Kong, c'est quoi la procédure? Je suis une entreprise québécoise et là, je me lance. C'est quoi les étapes peut-être pour comme décortiquer ça un peu, résumer, c'est ça.
Nous, évidemment, il y avait 2 aspects. Il y avait l'incorporation, l'enregistrement de l'entreprise, qui s'est fait de manière assez facile. Après ça, on s'est doté de partenaires pour la fiscalité, la comptabilité et s'assurer d'être compatible. Et de l'autre côté, ben, il y a un cabinet d'avocats qui nous a assistés pour la protection de notre marque. La marque de commerce Camden, on a un logo, je l'ai même tatoué ici sur le dos. J'ai fait tatouer à Londres en passant. Je suis un peu craqué, là. Je suis un peu intense, je sais. Mais donc, on a fait protéger notre marque de commerce. On a un logo secondaire, un logo principal, le nom, etc. Même l'équivalent en cantonais et en chinois simplifié. Donc, ça a été ces deux aspects-là. Ça s'est fait assez rapidement. Honnêtement, c'est plus le fait d'être à distance sur certains documents où il fallait se renvoyer par la poste, ça exigeait certaines signatures, mais pour le reste, ça a été très facile. Ça s'est fait je pense, un mois ou deux, tout était réglé.
Une question, quand tu parles de partenaire, est-ce que tu dois avoir un partenaire sur place si tu crées une entreprise?
Ben nous, on avait une directrice générale qui était une Française établie en Hong Kong, qui avait un permis, qui avait un visa de travail. Puis ça a été. On n'avait pas besoin d'avoir un citoyen d'Hong Kong avec.
C'est pas une nécessité, mais si vous avez des contacts et vous souhaiterez d'avoir un partenaire ou plusieurs partenaires, vous avez le droit de faire ça. Mais n'importe quelle personne pourrait s'installer sans partenaire.
D'accord. Ça va bien.
Par vous, et puis il n'y a pas de partenariat local.
C'est idéal d'avoir quelqu'un sur place.
Oui, ça aide.
Ça facilite le tout, mais ça a été assez facile.
Mais je dirais aussi que la Chambre de commerce canadienne, en fait, j'ai déjà travaillé à la Chambre de commerce canadienne. En fait, c'est une très belle chambre de commerce parce que les gens qui sont membres sont déjà bien implantés. Alors, ils ont beaucoup de leçons à partager avec. Et donc, j'encourage tout le monde, toutes les sociétés qui arrivent. En fait, on les encourage à être partie de la chambre parce que tout de suite, ils vont avoir un lien direct avec des gens, des sociétés canadiennes, des Canadiens qui sont déjà dans le marché, qui ont beaucoup d'expérience. Donc, c'est important parce que quand vous entrez, premièrement, d'abord, vous ne vous sentez pas seul. Et deuxièmement, il y a tout un réseau de support, si vous voulez, des gens qui peuvent vous introduire d'autres personnes. Bien sûr, quand on est là, on est le département, on offre ce service et cette collection. Donc, dès que vous installez à Hong Kong, Chris, d'abord, elle prend la charge ici. Et après, quand vous arrivez à Hong Kong, nous avons des équipes qui sont là, spécialisées dans notre domaine, qui vont prendre en charge. Et on va vous connecter avec d'autres personnes, parce que notre objectif, c'est que vous réussissez à Hong Kong. Et quand vous réussissez à Hong Kong, vous allez rester, vous allez grandir. Et puis, je pense que, par exemple, dans votre cas, il y a beaucoup d'opportunités à l'avenir, parce que quand on emmène d'autres personnes, il y a des gens qui vont vouloir.
D'ailleurs, j'inviterais ceux d'entre vous là, qui songez vous investir à Hong Kong, si vous y allez, d'investir la Chambre de commerce du Canada là-bas. Puis il y a différents comités dans lesquels on peut s'investir là, en lien avec nos opérations, tout ça. Là. Nous, on avait un comité, je pense, sur les agences créatives ou un truc comme ça. Puis notre directeur général s'est impliqué. Puis ça amène de belles occasions de vitrine puis de réseautage très concret. D'ailleurs, à l'étranger, ceux qui le savent, là, les réseaux d'expatriés sont très faciles d'approche. À l'étranger, c'est beaucoup plus facile. Souvent, c'est plus facile de réseauter à l'étranger que se l'est ici, parce qu'on se retrouve toujours un peu avec les mêmes personnes. Les gens se regardent un peu. Les expatriés, on dirait, il y a une manière d'entrer en contact qui est naturelle, puis il y a des liens qui se créent rapidement. C'est des gens qui, par nature, sont habitués de créer des liens. Donc, c'est très intéressant, d'un point de vue humain aussi.
Et je pense qu'il y a un point aussi que je voudrais faire aussi, que vous êtes faire, parce que les gens à Hong Kong, que ce soit des expatriés ou des locaux, ils sont très ouverts, en fait. Ils sont pas. C'est très facile, au fait, d'avoir un rendez-vous avec un PDG d'une grande société, où normalement, ce ne serait pas facile d'entrer.
Non,
mais en Hong Kong, c'est quand même relativement facile. Et donc, comme vous êtes déjà à Hong Kong, donc c'est facile. Si vous avez besoin d'un contact, vous avec la Chambre de commerce ou nous, à l'Université Hong Kong, on peut ouvrir des portes, si c'est possible, pour vous présenter aux autres.
Le classique en Hong Kong, c'est aller prendre un café. Et c'est ça, aller prendre un café avec un client potentiel, puis tu sais, rapidement, on parle. Puis on a généralement un son de cloche assez juste, assez rapidement, il n'y a pas de perte de temps.
Ouais.
Puis on sait s'il y a un potentiel ou pas, puis si on peut approfondir.
C'est très pratique, enfin.
C'est ça, c'est très rapide, ça bouge vite. C'est une ville à rythme élevé. Ça, pour quelqu'un qui aime ça, là, c'est très vivant, très fun.
Je veux juste mentionner 3 choses. Tout à fait d'accord parce que je pense que je reviens de Hong Kong il y a 2 semaines. Je pense qu'il y a une journée où j'ai pris 6 cafés. Il fallait que je diversifie après les non-caffeinated là, parce que c'était comme beaucoup de café. Là. Je me suis dit qu'il y avait un alternatif pour un tisane, mais oui, les cafés. Je fais une petite plug marketing. Peut-être pas aussi bien que Mathieu, mais si vous êtes membre de HKCBA, et la chambre de commerce qui parle, c'est CanCham Hong Kong. On a un partenariat avec eux parce que c'est pendant nous, on est au Canada, eux, ils sont à Hong Kong. Puis, tu as le membership gratuit. Fait que tu as comme 2 memberships avec un. Fait que si tu deviens membre de HKCBA, tu as le membership CanCham. Il faut juste nous écrire, puis on va vous donner comme le code d'accès pour avoir. Et puis, c'est en effet un réseau génial. Je pense que Charles, tu l'avais mentionné dans ta présentation. On ne sait pas les chiffres exacts, là, mais il y a un réseau d'expatriés à 300 000 Canadiens en Hong Kong. C'est, je pense, une des places avec les plus de Canadiens expatriés dans une concentration. Et puis, la communauté est vraiment là. Bien sûr, il y a Invest Hong Kong, il y a le CanCham, mais il y a aussi le consulat qui est présent, le consulat canadien qui est là pour vous soutenir avec une équipe de Trade Commissioners, pardonnez mon anglicisme, qui est là pour vous soutenir également pour être là. Alors, je pense que c'est beaucoup de personnes qui sont là pour mieux vous guider dans votre parcours qui, des fois, peuvent sembler un peu daunting d'aller à l'autre bout du monde. C'est 24 heures de voyagement, mais c'est beaucoup plus chaleureux qu'on peut le penser, je pense.
Puis on veut grandir, vous n'êtes pas seul. On est là pour servir, rendre service à toutes les sociétés étrangères qui arrivent. Et vous allez pouvoir aussi avoir de nouveaux contacts. Une chose que je n'ai pas dit dans la présentation, c'est que c'est très facile. Si vous allez à la plage du centre-ville, c'est 15 minutes. Vous allez à la montagne, c'est 15 minutes.
On va passer au-dessus de la montagne dans une autre.
Alors donc, c'est très facile. C'est très facile à bouger. Et puis, les services médicaux, services d'éducation, donc tout est très, très facile au fait.
Votre présentation a été un eye-opener pour moi. Merci beaucoup. Ça a été vraiment révélateur.
Je m'excuse d'avoir beaucoup d'informations que quand on est là, je voulais simplement m'assurer que vous ayez des informations que seraient peut-être intéressantes.
Je sais qu'il ne nous reste pas beaucoup. On peut rester. J'ai eu la permission de Marc pour rester un peu plus, mais je veux être respectueux aussi de l'horaire de tout le monde. Je veux juste peut-être la dernière question que je vais poser. If you have one advice for an entrepreneur, startup to go to business in Hong Kong, what would it be?
OK. Pour moi, c'est faut arrêter de se penser, il faut agir. C'est facile d'imaginer puis de rêver des choses, puis on reste pris dans nos rêves. Nous autres, on s'est levé un matin, on n'est pas plus intelligent, puis on n'est pas mieux que personne, mais on a passé à l'action, puis on n'a jamais arrêté. Donc, moi, je dirais passer à l'action, ne pas compliquer les choses, se faire un plan par étapes, rester réaliste, mais aussi être conscient que c'est tout un monde qui s'ouvre à nous. Puis moi, en ce qui me concerne, ben, je trouve que c'est passionnant.
Yeah, for me, the advice I can give is to talk more with the people in Hong Kong or in people in Shenzhen because they're like welcoming people from Canada. You know, Canada people that are like from hardened and polite. So when we're in Hong Kong, talk to them directly and do more things, play with them and have meeting with them, which is the chill out in Hong Kong. And they will help you a lot. They'll provide you any information they can help. So yeah.
Les Canadiens ont une très, très belle réputation. Franchement, comme vous dites, le Canadien, c'est le passeport. Tout le monde, franchement, c'est totalement un monde différent. Quand vous dites le Canadien, les gens s'ouvrent.
On a une ville au Canada qui s'appelle Vancouver, mais qu'on surnomme maintenant Vancouver.
Oui.
Parce qu'il y a beaucoup d'échanges qu'il y a eu entre les deux villes.
Mais des fois, c'est ça, on pense souvent à l'Europe et il y a encore comme des bureaux en Europe, on a commencé en Europe à Paris d'ailleurs, mais quand on est une entreprise canadienne qui va en Europe, on compétitionne avec d'autres entreprises européennes, Mais quand on va en Asie, de ce qu'on voit, c'est la marque canadienne est très bien reconnue, très bien respectée et ça donne un edge que des fois, quand on retourne de Londres, des fois, c'est pas le même edge qu'on a. Alors, c'est quelque chose à considérer. Il n'y a pas une solution à toutes les entreprises, mais c'est juste quelque chose à considérer. Et je pense que qu'est-ce que Mike, tu disais justement, I think the relationship, I just came back from the Asia Forum and the moments taken to build those relationships are very important. So I saw it with actually one of our clients. They took a long time. So it started with tests, and then afterwards with a longer contract, and then afterwards a full licensing. And during COVID, it was very difficult. It's in the entertainment industry, which is something that's obviously sought after. Obviously, when you cannot gather, entertainment is not happening at a 50,000 person stadium. But because they built that relationship with their partner, because they went to take the time to talk, to have the dinners, to have the coffees, instead of like calling us, well, they called us, but instead of us just looking at what's the clause of termination, what's the force majeure, how do we who's paying what and who has the obligation, they actually called each other and were, okay, let's find a solution. So that once everything was open, they were the first one ready to go off running instead of fighting on litigation. So I think that there's a lot of pros in that. Obviously, it takes a bit more time, but there's a lot of beauty in that because they talked through it, they found a solution. Obviously, each party had to tighten up the belt a bit. Maybe lost a little bit of money during COVID, but afterwards, because they were prepared, they had some foresight, they talked as a partnership, they were able to, kickstart right after when all the measures started easing up. So something to consider as well. It's a very good advice.
If I may add, Cindy, with all the metrics that we have at Investissement Québec on growth and just trade from Quebec outwards, Asia is just, with our KPIs, Asia is a larger trading partner than Europe. And we have a tendency to think that there's no trade barriers with Europe. Europe is actually 28 some countries. Sometimes it's different languages, different cultures. If somebody's in a technical drawing environment, the symbols they use in Europe are not even the same ones as here. So there are a lot of trade barriers with Europe that we don't realize. And there's a lot of openness to business in a lot of Asian countries, amongst other Hong Kong. So besides the distance and the jet lag when we come home, there's a lot of pros and if you had a map a little bit earlier about, there's within 5 hours. So it's basically, there's on average probably a 5% growth annually within that region. And there's I don't know how many billion people, but that's where it's going to happen. That's where the future is in terms of global economy. So being there is pretty important as soon as you can, rather than in markets that are struggling to maintain a positive economy. And with all due respect to Europe and the other places to do business, they're still there and there's opportunities there. But we have a team here at Investissement Québec that's really adamant on pushing Asia because there's a lot of benefits, a lot of incentives, a lot of types of funding, and openness to business. Common law, legal system that's very similar to, maybe not Quebec, but the rest of Canada, but we're accustomed to it. So it checks off a lot of boxes to make it easy. So.
Une question pour Charles.
Oui.
Vous avez mentionné que dans le cas, à 5 heures, on peut rejoindre 87 millions. C'est bien ça?
C'est 3,7 milliards de personnes.
Ah, c'est ça. J'avais compris.
3,7 millions. C'est parce que c'est la moitié de la population mondiale.
87, c'est le Greater Bay Area.
Ah, OK. Donc, beaucoup plus, là. OK. Parce qu'avec 1,4 milliard, je me disais 87 millions, c'est pas suffisant. Là.
Il manque un zéro.
Il manque un zéro.
85 millions, c'est juste les villes dans le nord de Hong Kong.
C'est à peu près l'équivalent de Montréal-Victoriaville.
Were there any questions, comments? It's always the same people. If there's any questions, comments, please don't be shy. Soyez pas timide. Il n'y a pas de mauvaises questions, il n'y a pas de mauvais commentaires.
Moi, je vais en poser une pour Guichard. Moi, je travaille avec Guichard. Guichard a une Medcom et je travaille avec lui pour aviser. On travaille sur une stratégie de consolidation. En ce moment, on a une acquisition qu'on est au beau milieu de faire. On est en train de structurer le capital et on fait un investisseur. Mais la question, elle est que on retrouve souvent ça, le montant est petit relatif
le monde de l'investissement mondial. Alors, est-ce que, dans ce que vous faites, et de nous mettre en lien avec des investisseurs potentiels, il y a de l'appétit pour regarder des choses comme ça avec des plus petits montants d'investissement? Puis pour être là, on cherche entre 250 et 500 000 d'investissement en équité pour faire une stratégie de consolidation de marché.
Nous avons plusieurs façons de le faire. En fait, ça dépend de l'appétit, mais en général, même si les gens ont beaucoup d'argent ou des fonds qui sont prêts à investir dans les gros projets, ils vont commencer à petit d'abord. Bon, nous avons à peu près 450 et quelques private equity en Hong Kong. Ça, c'est très important. Et comme vous entrez dans l'écosystème, vous vous faites connaître par les autres, je pense que c'est à partir de là, parce que les gens toujours cherchent un exemple. Il faut commencer quelque part. Alors donc, avoir un pied à terre, commencer quelque part, ça déjà vous donne une capacité. Il y a beaucoup de gens qui passent par Hong Kong, qui cherchent du fonds. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, je pense que les États-Unis, c'est presque fermé. La porte est presque fermée. Et même en Europe, c'est pas évident d'avoir accès aux fonds. Parce qu'eux-mêmes, dans les 27 pays, ils ont besoin de la capitale. Et Hong Kong, il y a la capitale, bien sûr, mais ils essayent de voir quelles sont les meilleures sociétés où ils peuvent avoir un scalability, si vous voulez, pouvoir grandir leur projet, avoir une solution qui rapporte à un problème. Et donc, bien sûr, on regarde l'équipe aussi dans laquelle ils vont investir, mais je pense que c'est d'abord ancrer un pied à terre d'abord et commence à connaître les gens. Parce qu'en Hong Kong, en fait, c'est pas facile c'est pas difficile de commencer à entrer à pénétrer dans le marché. Parce que les gens, quand même, ils sont quand même assez ouverts pour travailler avec d'autres personnes. Mais je pense qu'il faut avoir un pied à terre pour commencer. Mais là, on peut aussi vous introduire, par exemple, il y a l'association de HKCBA qui a 450 normes comme pour débuter, surtout pour ce qui est de fonds ou d'investissement et tout. Et là, c'est une porte d'entrée pour
Si je peux ajouter, j'avais comme l'impression peut-être que du côté des family office, il y avait quelque chose à faire sur le montant de cette dimension-là. Où il y a souvent plus d'appétit justement pour des plus petits investissements avec un peu moins de contrôle à court terme et d'exigences intenses à court terme. Dans mon expérience, là, à travers mes clients et nos partenaires, j'ai vu davantage d'opérations avec les family office sur ce type d'investissement-là. Je creuserais peut-être de ce côté-là.
Par exemple, série A, B. Série A et B, peut-être, ou avant même. Alors, vous avez pas mal de groupes d'investisseurs, si vous voulez, qui sont petits et moyens, si vous voulez.
En fait, ce que j'allais dire, c'est tout simplement, premièrement, merci de votre belle présentation. Oui, on a un appétit pour ce genre de choses-là parce que j'ai justement une équipe qui a déjà fait des projets d'envergure mondiale. On parle du monde à Singapour, j'ai une associée à Dubaï. On regarde de faire une deuxième acquisition que Eric n'a pas parlé aux États-Unis, qui a une grosse pénétration en Chine. Donc, j'espère avoir la chance et avec l'aide et éventuellement, j'imagine, l'Investissement Québec à travers tout ça. Parce que ce qu'on recherche, au fait, c'est l'investisseur, le smart investor, qui est un petit peu plus évolué, un petit peu plus sophistiqué, donc souvent qui a fait plus d'international, sans rien enlever à la communauté financière du Québec. Surtout pas devant l'Investissement Québec, ouais. Mais dans le medtech, c'est très petit, puis il n'y a pas de gros joueurs au Québec qui ont vraiment, excusez le terme, passé à la caisse comme investisseurs, puis qui ont vu la manne du digital health. Puis on a beaucoup d'intelligence artificielle là, au Québec, on est très connu, heureusement, dans le monde pour ça, mais on a souvent le petit défaut d'avoir besoin de cash avec du monde qui connaissent le business puis qui n'ont pas peur de faire l'international. Fait que nous, c'est ça qu'on cherche, puis je trouve ça intéressant. Le meilleur ami de mon fils est chinois. On parle beaucoup de la Chine avec ses parents, c'est une belle communauté. Mais Hong Kong aussi. Fait que si on peut, avec Eric, regarder ce qu'on peut faire ensemble, c'est parce qu'on a une stratégie de roll-up, on veut faire des acquisitions un petit peu comme ce que vous avez fait, plutôt c'est organique. Nous, c'est via des acquisitions.
Nous aussi, on a fait des acquisitions. Hong Kong a été organique, mais ailleurs dans le monde, c'est
C'est ça, tu sais. Je sais que moi, j'ai été partenaire avec Tata Communication. Je connais un petit peu la culture asiatique. Il y a beau rester, mais on est ouvert à tout ça.
Je pense
C'est
que-
intéressant ce que vous proposez.
Je pense que qu'avoir un pied à terre, comme vous l'avez fait, c'est beaucoup plus facile parce qu'il y en a beaucoup de gens de passage. Donc, ils viennent, on dit le fly by night. Dans le sens, ils arrivent et ils cherchent
Dubaï, un peu comme ça.
ils cherchent un peu les gens parce que tout le monde cherche tout le monde cherche des investisseurs. Alors, les investisseurs, par exemple, à Hong Kong, ils sont prêts à investir dans des sociétés s'ils voient que les équipes voilà, ils sont très pragmatiques. Alors donc, ils veulent chercher des choses qui ont d'abord une bonne équipe, qui ont confiance, donc avoir la possibilité d'épanouir, d'agrandir le marché dans une grande façon, et puis aussi la solution que ce start-up porte. Donc, ils sont prêts à investir. Par exemple, je connais par exemple une famille qui investit que dans tout ce qui est life science, biotechnologie. Alors, il y a des gens qui sont que dans la Fintech ou dans la blockchain. Il y a beaucoup de créneaux. Donc, c'est à partir de... Enfin, en compte, la chose qui est très intéressante, c'est que les gens sont très ouverts. C'est très ouvert. Je vais vous donner un exemple. Je connais un investisseur qui connaît rien dans le domaine du life science. Et toute la famille faisait toujours des trucs dans les usines, les grandes usines pour faire la production. Il n'y a rien à faire avec la biotechnologie. Mais elle a décidé d'investir dans une grande partie dans la biotechnologie parce qu'elle pense que c'est l'avenir. Elle ne comprend rien, elle ne connaît pas. Mais il y a un côté émotionnel parce qu'elle avait un oncle qui est tombé malade avec je crois, un Alzheimer. Alors elle dit que bon, elle veut faire quelque chose pour aider. Donc, c'est du côté émotionnel. Bon, vous avez beaucoup de raisons au fait pour ça. Mais nous avons beaucoup d'investisseurs. Il y a le family office qu'on visite, de plusieurs créneaux. Vous avez des grandes family office de très grandes marques, si vous voulez, de très grands noms. Mais aussi, vous avez des milliers, en fait, c'est la raison pour laquelle c'est important avec la bourse. Parce que vous imaginez un peu, chaque personne chaque société qui se met à la bourse, et overnight, en fait, le lendemain, ils deviennent des milliardaires. Parce qu'ils sont cotés à la bourse et ils deviennent milliardaires. Alors, ils ont beaucoup d'argent, en fait. Alors, ils cherchent aussi des opportunités dans lesquelles ils veulent développer ce lien.
Prendre tout votre temps, mais on va reprendre certainement contact. Puis merci de vos deux entrepreneurs de vos bonnes expériences.
Ça vous en
On devrait en faire d'autres, des rencontres comme ça, monsieur. Au Québec, je ne sais pas comment dire, mais.
Ouais.
Non, mais c'est le fun.
Dépend de ton épisode, c'est plus facile.
Oui, écoutez, on va organiser, en fait. Ben, je vais vous le dire. Alors, on va nous prendre parole. Je ne veux pas prendre beaucoup de temps. Je sais qu'on a déjà passé notre temps. Mon nom, c'est Eric Cardinal. Moi, je suis investment banker. Je suis dans plusieurs projets. J'ai mentionné celui avec Guichard, mais j'ai une association de networking que je vais ouvrir un club à Hong Kong avec l'aide de Charles et de Chris. Et aussi, moi, j'ai eu des bureaux à Hong Kong pendant 5 ans. Alors, quand on entend parler de choses comme ça, et on va retourner à Hong Kong. Alors, tout ce qui s'est dit aujourd'hui, c'est très vrai et voilà. Je voulais juste remercier Investissement Québec, comme je vous sais, Cindy Ho de DS Avocat. Cindy est aussi notre coprésidente du HKCBA à Montréal. Alors, c'est important de mentionner. Puis je veux surtout remercier Chris, Chen et Charles.
C'est nous.
Oui.
C'est nous qui vous remercions.
De nous avoir accueillis. Petite chose, parce que c'est quand même HKCBA qui a organisé en partie la chose. On a des événements qui s'en viennent à l'automne. On a le National Conference qui va être hosté à Ottawa au mois de septembre, mais on a aussi un cocktail qui est le 16 septembre, Cindy. On a un cocktail le 16 septembre où on va promouvoir 2 événements qui ont lieu à Hong Kong, le Hong Kong Forum et le Asian Financial Forum qui va être en janvier. Moi, j'ai eu le privilège d'être le Economic Co-Mission Leader pour Canada au Asian Financial Forum pour 3 années, les 3 dernières années. Ça fait 7 ans que je vais à la conférence et j'ai reconduit mon mandat en janvier. Alors, je retourne au Asian Financial Forum. On demande à des gens, des Canadiens, s'ils veulent être délégués et aller à cette conférence. Et on a des billets gratuits pour les gens qui veulent faire partie de la délégation. Alors, si ça vous intéresse, si vous avez un intérêt pour faire quelque chose comme ça, s'il vous plaît, communiquez avec moi parce qu'on va voir ce qu'on peut faire. Dans le fond, votre billet est gratuit. C'est une valeur de, je pense, c'est 4 ou 5 000 aller à cette conférence-là.
Et quel est l'endroit?
C'est à Hong Kong, spécifiquement dans le quartier de Wan Chai. C'est fin janvier, genre 25-26 janvier 2026. OK. Alors, c'est une expérience incroyable. Puis encore une fois,
C'est la 2e semaine de janvier.
Ah, c'est la 2e semaine de janvier. Et je serai votre leader de la mission économique. Alors, vous m'avez rencontré si vous voulez y aller. Ça va me faire plaisir de vous accueillir dans notre gang. Et sur ce, je ne veux pas prendre plus de votre temps. C'est la fin de semaine du Grand Prix. Alors, on s'en retourne à nos cocktails galas de la Formule 1. Je vous invite à profiter de la ville si vous n'êtes pas d'ici parce que c'est absolument effervescence complète dans la ville. C'est incroyable et trouvez-vous un party d'effort parce que c'est agréable. Allez sur Peel si vous ne savez pas quoi faire.
Et au nom de l'Université de Hong Kong, je voudrais vous remercier à tout le monde. Vous êtes là, vous avez pris du temps pour venir cet après-midi et aussi vous partager vos expériences avec nous aussi. Et surtout, c'est dire, enfin, c'est ça que tu nous as aidé à faire tout ça. Mais vraiment, c'est un plaisir d'être là. Et c'est le début de la conversation. Et on voudrait vous inviter à Hong Kong, donc la première semaine de novembre, et aussi en janvier, de venir ici.
Actually, je vais peut-être comme modifier. Il y a toujours des trade missions, il y a toujours des événements au HKTC, j'aimerais bien justement emmener. Peu importe quand vous voulez encore de savoir, vous demander pour voir c'est quoi ça, on va vous développer des contacts avec la Chambre de commerce aussi qui organise des événements. Alors,